because when you talk, they don't believe you're talking to them. They just don't see themselves in your words, so they eliminate you as a viable option to help them. Today, we're going to talk about make messaging speak to your clients. Okay. And it's coming from our blog this week, which is entitled Why Credibility Drives Business Revenue. And if you want to follow along today, you can go to shaycannon.com/credibility. That is shaycannon.com/credibility. All right. Because credibility is hugely important for your business growth. And let me tell you why. I have over a decade of experience in building businesses, mine and other people's, right? And so, with that experience, I've come up with a formula for business growth. And I call that formula the business growth ability formula. And it has four parts. And don't be trying to steal my shiznit because it will be trademarked. Okay. So it already has that TM in front of it. But the four progressive parts start with credibility at the bottom, because if you don't have credibility, there's no need in you ascending the ladder to any other part. But the next part is visibility. The next part is bankability. And then the next part is going to be profitability. And these four pieces create business growth. Okay. You almost can just take a shot in the dark. But if you follow all these four things, your business is going to grow to some capacity. Okay. Not scale. Scale is totally different. Okay. But it will grow. All right. But let's talk about this credibility thing. On Monday, we talked about results as credibility. If you're out here getting people a transformation, that is the biggest credibility people are looking for. And that can trump credentials. And what I mean by credentials could be letters behind somebody's name or letters in front of somebody's name. Because if they can't show where they got somebody the transformation, somebody will go with you, instead of that person that you thought you needed to go and get a certificate, or you needed more schooling, or you needed more of a professional, whatever. If you're out here getting transformation, that credibility can trump credentials. Now, if you have credentials and you're getting people to transformation, then hey, that's the holy grail. And we love that for you. Okay. If you want to know more about that and 10 ways to show your results to increase your credibility, go back to Monday's replay. All right. That was part one. Part two, on Tuesday, we talked about consistency as credibility. Okay, consistency. Because, see, it's not credible that you got something one time, or it's not credible that you show up every now and then. If you're not dependable, you're not credible. Okay, so on Tuesday for part two, we talked about consistency as credible. I gave you 10 strategies to be more consistent to build credibility. So go back to part two from Tuesday if you want more on that. Yesterday, part three was all about credibility online and your reputation. Okay. You have to not just build a reputation, but share that reputation. And so, if you want to know more about reputation for credibility and 10 strategies for sharing your reputation or building your reputation, go back to part three, which was yesterday. All right. Today, we are closing out our four-part series, and we're going to talk about messaging, okay? Because if your messaging isn't correct for who you're trying to attract to pay you, then they don't see you as a credible solution for them. Right? We started out with that. If you're talking, and it's not resonating, they're not going to pick you to be the one to help them, because they think that you don't understand them. They think that you're not the one to help. They don't think that you can get them the transformation because you're not talking like what they can understand as something that is an understanding of what they're going through and an understanding of where they're trying to go to. Okay. So let's talk about make messaging speak to your clients. Let's go to the blog. Credibility isn't about what impresses you. It's about what reassures them. Your ideal clients have specific fears, desires, and decision-making filters, and they're scanning everything you say and do through that lens. That means understanding your clients actually is valuable. Okay. So you may have been highlighting your background in wellness education, or you might have been doing other things that you feel like qualify you. But your audience isn't looking for an academic lecture. They're not looking for necessarily your academic achievements. What they're looking for is, can you help me? And are you speaking my language? Okay. They're burnt out, skeptical of traditional methods, and craving real, relatable stories of transformation. They don't care about your official credentials. They care about whether someone like them got real results with your help. When you start speaking to those needs and showcasing the exact proof points your clients are looking for, that's when your credibility starts to click for ideal clients. Not louder, not fancier, just aligned. That's what your messaging needs to be. All right. Now, that was the blog. So I feel like you understand how messaging works for your credibility. But, here on the morning show, I give you more. So let me pull up these show notes so I can give you some strategies. And I got, again, today I have some examples to show you guys because I really want to drive home how messaging works for your credibility. Okay. Let me pull up these show notes. All right. So we're going to talk about 10 strategies to match your messaging to your credibility for increased revenue. These are our strategies. Okay. Number one, use client language, not industry jargon. Okay. You need to do some research and find out what is your ideal client calling things. Okay. Your official words, the words that make you feel smart, they're probably not using those words. Okay. So you need to figure out what words they're using so you can parrot, as in the bird, repeating after you parrot, back to them how they identify their problem, how they identify the future of transformation that they want. Okay. I'll give you a great example that I always give you guys. I had to do my research and understand that my ideal client, which is y'all, online service-based businesses that are trying to get to their first six figures, y'all don't really know what business operations is. Y'all don't know. You don't know. I've asked, and y'all start listening all of this stuff that's not operations. So I had to do a deep dive and find out, well, what are you calling it? And you call it business management. That's what you're calling it. So when I say business operations, y'all don't know what I'm talking about. So I had to take that out of my messaging because it doesn't resonate for you. If I say business operations and you don't use that, you don't quite know how I can help you. You might feel like, oh, she's smart. She helps with a lot of stuff, but I don't think I need business operations. Maybe I don't feel like my business is big enough, or maybe because I don't understand it, I don't think that that's the solution. So you see how that mix match of messaging can mess up. But when I start saying managing your business and things like that, trust me, then they understand what I'm talking about. And now my ideal client understands that I'm the one that can help them. So be careful of the words you're using. Do your research. What are your people calling things? That's what you need to call stuff. Okay. Stop trying to be smart. Stop trying to prove you smart. Validate your smartness by using these big words and the industry words. They're not looking for that stuff. They probably don't call it that, and they probably don't even know what that is. Okay. So stop it. Find out what they call things and you use those words. Number two, build content pillars that resonate. Okay. So I want you to start creating posts and videos that highlight the mindset shift that your clients have, the pain points they go through, and the desires that they want. Okay. So when your messaging reflects their internal journey, in addition to their current and desired future outward state, they trust that you understand them. I want to give you an example of my content pillars. So let me share my screen really quickly. And you will find that these content pillars are aligned with the information we talk about here on the morning show. They're aligned with the categories of the blog posts that I create and publish. And so these are the things that y'all care about, right? I know who you guys are as my ideal clients, and y'all want to hear about business clarity. You want to hear about business structure. You want to hear about business management, business processes, business growth, business revenue. You want to hear about trends. You want to hear about business mindset or entrepreneurial mindset, and you want to hear about lifestyle because that's where that freedom comes in. Right? So when I talk about sales and marketing and things like that, that can come over under business growth or under business revenue. But I understand these categories of content that you guys want to hear more information on because they're directly tied to the problems that you're having and the solutions that you want. Okay. So, content pillars. You need to have some for your business, for each of your offers if they're starkly different, so that they resonate, okay, in your messaging. Number 3, anchor your message around one core problem. Now, we understand that one problem can kind of spider out into different things, right? But what is the one core problem? Like if you had to answer in one, if you had to say one phrase as to what you're helping your people with, you need to be able to be concise. Okay. So instead of trying to speak to everything you can do, center your message around solving one problem your ideal client cannot ignore. Focus on building clarity, and then clarity builds trust. Okay. Now, the one problem, if I had to say, now I just showed you my content pillars. Those are a bunch of problems, right? But what do I say that I do? Well, I help you make more money, right? Business growth. If I had to put it in a phrase, business growth. That's it. If you can't put yours in a phrase, you need to work on it because you got to be more concise. Okay. Number 4, tailor your about section to the client's story. Don't just list about your background. You need to frame it in the lens of what does your audience care about the most and who they're looking for to solve their problems, right? So make your experience and your traits that you're sharing about yourself a mirror for their struggles, their hopes. Okay. That's what your about should be. So if you on your about page are talking about your credentials and all of that kind of stuff, that's not enough. We've already told you how credentials aren't enough. So you should be speaking to these things, even though you're relaying it as a story about you. But what about you should they care about? Because they don't care that you're a mom of 3. They don't care that you've been married for 20 years unless that's attached to the solution that they're looking for. Right? Now, can you say that? Cute. Use 2-3 words. Move on. Okay? But just know you care more about that than they did. So you might be misusing real estate. So keep that in mind. Heather said nugget. Yeah, that was a nugget, right? Number 5, use I see you content to call out specific scenarios, right? I step on y'all toes out of love all the time, but I see you, right? I see you. That's how I'm able to step on your toes. That's why you like, ouch, you talking to me, right? Because I'm telling you things and sharing scenarios that I know you're going through. So guess what you do? You self-identify. So now you know, okay, she's an expert in the areas that I need help, or she can help me get to that transformation that I want. So create posts that describe the exact moment your client realizes they need help. Is it as an example? What are they up Googling at 2 a.m.? Being that accurate, like that accurate, pinpoint accuracy with what you're talking about makes you feel credible and essential. Okay? Keep that in mind. Number 6, create a FAQ or frequently asked questions that handles emotional and logical concerns. Okay. If y'all have these complex offers, especially if you have any offers that are attached to traveling or events, physical events, you definitely need a frequently asked questions section. Now, we don't always use those for smaller offers or very clear offers, but when you do have to have a frequently asked questions section, don't just go copy other folks' stuff. Think about what does your ideal client need to know to feel safe, to feel like they need this, and to feel like it's worth their time. Okay? What questions would they have that would get in the way of them coming or taking part or buying? Answer those questions for them. Okay? Number 7, build and use a client type. Okay, build and use a client type. And most of y'all have seen people use these types of things before. You just didn't know that that's what they were doing. But this further is messaging that helps people to self-identify that you're talking to them, right? So you guys hear me say online service-based entrepreneur all the time, right? Because I'm niching that thing down. I don't want to talk to all entrepreneurs. Okay. I don't want to talk to service-based businesses that have a brick and mortar. So I am very clear in the messaging that I use. Now I use a long phrase. I talk fast. I can kind of get away with it. But let me give you some examples. So you want to create archetypes and labels for your ideal clients like newbie coaches or side hustler or burnt out expert. You know what I'm saying? Things like that, that people can say, oh, that's me. And this is going to help new prospects find themselves in your content faster, adding to your credibility. All right. Number 8, share a micro case study series. Micro case study series. So you're going to post short digestible breakdowns of like your client outcomes that show, maybe it shows your process in action. Maybe it shows how they may seem like a difficult person to get the transformation for, but you did it. Right. Or maybe you need to show scenarios because if you speak to service-based businesses, maybe product-based businesses don't know you talking to them. Right. Or whatever it is, you want to just make sure that you create case studies to show that you're getting the transformation, but you don't want to create the same kind of case study over and over again. So we want to look for little differences in our case studies, right? So I have case studies that show a lifestyle change where they got more freedom in their business. I have case studies that show increase in revenue. I have case studies that show that I'm a good strategist. I have case studies that show that I can apply structure to businesses to get the result that they want. So I have different case studies that highlight the myriad, okay, of all of the things that I can do. So I want you to have case studies, but try to get a variety of them that kind of big you up in different ways. Okay. Um, I want you to align your calls to actions, your CTAs, with their desires. So when you have your little pay buttons on your cell, I want you to put, don't just say buy here, buy now, click here. Use that real estate to call out to them in a way that makes them want to click. Okay. Click here if you're tired of doing so and so and so and so. Click here if you're ready to whatever, whatever, right? Click here to have the best, whatever, whatever. Okay. So if your message promises clarity, but your offer leads to overwhelm, this disconnect erodes trust. So you want to be on the call to action, whether it's a button or it's a sentence in a paragraph, whether it's buy this, download that, attend this. You want to use words that have the messaging that make them want to take the action. Okay. Last but not least, number 10 is mirror their transformation language in your offers. Okay. So use the exact phrases your clients use to describe, what they're going through or, what they want to have. They might want to feel confident again. They might want to sleep through the night. They might want to finally launch an offer. And then you want to talk about what they're tired of. You want to be able to hook them in immediately. Okay. So I want to show y'all a few things. Okay. Let me see. What was this one? I have an example I have not shown y'all yet, and I'm trying to see. Oh, yeah. Let me go back up here. Which one is this an example of? This is an example of I see you. Let me show you this one right quick. This is an example of number 5, I see you. I forgot I had this example ready for y'all. Now, I see you is when you're talking to them in a way that they know that you understand their pain points and their desires, okay? So let me share this. This is a screenshot. As soon as okay, there it goes. It's showing now. This is a screenshot where somebody said, what does a fractional COO do? I'm new to this phase and intrigued, right? Now, I already know y'all don't know what operations is. It don't matter what I tell you I do as a fractional COO because y'all don't understand what that is. And that high level strategy for operations, y'all don't know what that is either. So what did I do? I spoke to his pain points and I spoke to his desires. Okay. So I help virtual service-based small business CEOs to build their business around the freedom they want to live through clarity, structure, and shared leadership for growth. Now, if I had to stop right there, he'd have been like, oh, okay, cool. Good for you. Right. But I kept going because now I want to speak directly to him so he could raise his hand. So I said, my clients experience success with business and revenue goals without singular leadership burdens. And I describe what that is: decision fatigue, team management, and crisis management. without stalled forward motion. What does that look like? Bottlenecking, right? Without continued overwhelm. What does that look like? Working more in your business instead of on your business as the visionary and the rainmaker for the business, right? And a lack of freedom for life outside of the business. Let me tell you, that worked so well. That man was instantly in my inbox and was like, send me the invoice. Let's get started. I wasn't even taking clients at the time. I was just telling him what I do. I didn't even want another client. He was like, you'll be all right. We're going to work together. So when you speak to these pain points in a way, when you speak to their desires in a way, they know exactly that you are exactly what they need. So y'all got to practice that stuff. Okay. All right. Let me see. What else did I have to show y'all? Did I have anything else over here to show y'all before I go into these? Okay, cool. Now, let me go and show y'all how I use messaging on my sales page that kind of does that. Depending on what offer I'm selling, I'm always going to hit them with a hook of the pain points and what they want, right? So I usually use words like, are you tired of, or are you ready to? I love those two things. So let me show you how I use those in different ways, okay? Let me share my screen. All right, there we go. I want that window. Let me see it come up. Okay, there we go. Now, this is the paid membership. And in this paid membership that we talk about all the time, it's supposed to give you time freedom and allow you to achieve more goals. And this is like the first step, the foundational step to you making it to your first 6 figures before you start getting into business strategy and all of that, right? So what do I say? I say, are you an entrepreneur ready to reach your first 6 figures and beyond, but constantly battling time management struggles? It's time to stop managing time and start managing yourself to achieve the goals that truly matter. Okay. So off the rip, I'm already talking about you. Okay. So let's go to another one. Okay. This is the promo that's going, I mean, the event that's going on right now, right? This revenue reset, that's the summer boot camp, right? So this is tired of doing everything right and still not seeing the revenue. You spent time, energy, and money on all the right moves, yet your income is flatlined, your back end is a mess, and growth feels impossible. I am knocking you out with why you need to be in here, right? Next, let me show you another one. What is this one? This one was our organic marketing workshop, okay? So this one says, I know you're frustrated, so let's do marketing differently and get results. Okay. Are you tired from spending time and money creating content that just does not receive the results that make it worth your time and money? Ready to transform your marketing efforts? Dive into da 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 da. Right. So you see how I'm hitting pain points and desires. Okay. Let's do another one. This is about an affiliate program. Okay. So it's time to step into the future of your business. Are you ready to create a sales team without having to worry about payroll as a way to spread the news about your offer for unparalleled business growth? It's time to make a significant impact by creating an affiliate program with support from our innovative workshop, da 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 da. Okay. Tells you exactly what that's for. Pain points and desires. Here's another one. Okay. This one is for a workshop about digital dollars, creating passive income. Every way to increase your business revenue. Are you tired of leaving money on the table because you don't have an offer affordable enough to overcome pricing objections? It's time to present affordable digital options to recover revenue that otherwise would slip through your fingers. Man, I'm good at this, let me tell you. Okay, so let's do another one. Okay, this one is about creating content that actually stops the scroll so that people pay attention to you. So it's more like attraction, right? So if you don't know how to get their attention, they won't see that content or that offer you work so hard on. Are you feeling drained by pouring your energy and resources into content that barely makes a ripple in the digital ocean? It's time to revolutionize your approach. Okay. I think I got one more. Let's go for it. Okay. This one says, it's time to step into the future of business. Are you tired of hearing about Chat GPT, but you still don't know how to take advantage of it to make a difference in your business? It's time to get in the know and immediately start to get value and results from your new knowledge. So you understand what the pain point is and what the desire is. A lot of these businesses keep hearing about AI. They don't know where to begin to start to understand how to take advantage of it, let alone how to make money off of it. Okay. So hitting pain points, giving them the desire. Okay. So those are a lot of examples of messaging and how I'm credible because I know exactly what they're going through. I know exactly what they want. And I'm using the messaging that uses their words so that it attracts them. Okay. It's very compelling and it's definitely got that hook that makes them want to keep reading and see what is this solution that she's talking about. And by the way, shameless plug, if you want any of these workshops, put it in the comments below and I'll get you access to these workshops so you can go with a link. When I say access, I'm talking about the link so you can buy, baby. Okay, I don't mean free access. We give you free stuff every day. This ain't gonna be one of them. All right, so I hope that those examples help you to understand how messaging can be compelling and how it can convert. All right. We're going to start with Dr. LaFera for our question of the day. So let me grab that question first. Okay, I'm going to drop it in studio and I'm going to come over here on YouTube and I'm going to drop this question on YouTube. All right. Now, I'm going to give you the recap of the 10 strategies first, and then we're going to go straight to Dr. LaFera, okay? So, these 10 strategies to match your messaging to your credibility for increased revenue. All right. Number 1, use client language, not industry jargon. Number 2, build content pillars that resonate. Number 3, anchor your message around one core problem. Number 4, tailor your about section to the client's story. Number 5, use I see you content to call out specific scenarios. Number 6, create a FAQ or frequently asked questions section that handles emotional and logical concerns. Number 7, build and use a client type or archetype. Number 8, share micro case study series, and I want you guys to collect a variety of them. Okay. Number 9, align your CTAs or calls to actions with their desires. Number 10, mirror their transformation language in your offers. Okay. So let's go to Dr. LaFera for our question of the day, which is, what is your ideal client actually searching for as it relates to your offer that you need to start consistently using in your messaging to increase your credibility?
My ideal client is looking for better control over their body, over 40. Um, and so, and my ideal transformation is to help them become more aware of their body so they have less pain, more energy, and better health. And so, um, the one that I picked, they were all good. And I'll say if anybody is starting a business, like they wanted to be on your episode today, because this episode would save them a lot of headache.
What would it though? Yeah.
But I would say number 7 is one that I'm doing more now. Like, and
Mm-hmm.
I actually, like, I had been doing it, but like I did a webinar and like it was so easy. Because like it's the build and use a client type, and so now when I do content, because
Mm-hmm.
like that kind of clicked, like I guess like just now, like but the content that I create, like in my mind, I'll be thinking, oh, this is for this type of person. This is for the searcher. This is for the frustrated fixer. That type of stuff.
Yes.
So yeah. So number
I
7.
love it. I love that. I love that. Cool beans. Let's go to Cheryl. Cheryl, what is your ideal client actually searching for as it relates to your offer that you need to start consistently using in your messaging to increase your credibility?
I already use it in my messaging, but my ideal client wants to become a bestseller so that they can increase their income, visibility, and career longevity.
Mm-hmm. I love that. Anything else you want to add?
Y'all need to write that book. I'm telling you, write the book. It does not
Read.
have to be 300 pages. It can be 20. One of the most sold books ever on Amazon was a book. It was everything you need to know about men or women or something like that. Everybody was buying it like crazy. And then they bought extra copies to send to people. Why? Because there was nothing but empty pages between those covers. Because they don't know.
Yep.
So buy buy the books, write the books, and make some money.
Love it. Thank you for that, Cheryl. All right, let's go to Dr. Toya. Dr. Toya, what is your ideal client actually searching for as it relates to your offer that you need to start consistently using in your messaging to increase your credibility?
I think that, not I think, my ideal client is looking for the ability to trust themselves and I want to say step out on faith for the lack of a better word. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I need to, in my messaging, probably do the case studies. Not, and again, not probably. I know that I need to do the varied case studies. That is, I just finished this retreat here, and I
Mm-hmm.
will say though, Shay, that because you've been teaching and talking and all of the stuff about the testimonials, I was
Mm-hmm.
on it this time. So I
Okay,
have it,
now.
and now I have the material to come up with these varied case studies. But I definitely need
Come
to
on
lean
here.
into it.
Yes, I love that. I love that. Okay. Kimberly, I want you to put it in the chat if you're not going to be available to come on the mic. So let's go to Heather. Heather, what is your ideal client actually searching for as it relates to your offer that you need to start consistently using in your messaging to increase your credibility?
So my clients are searching for growing their businesses or their personal brands. They know they need to write a book. They just haven't done it and it's living rent free in their head. And so I think what I really need to do is more I see you content because I don't do any of that. And I know when you do it, it grabs me right away.
Yeah, you
Um,
stop breathing over there. I'd be like, "Oh hell, but look at him."
oh, I hate it when you do it, but it's good.
You be on look, you on camera. I try not to look at you because I don't want to laugh, but you'll be on camera and I'll say something. You'll go,
I mean, my face, I can't control that.
yep.
But also I never considered tailoring the
Hmm.
about section to speak
Yep.
to the audience needs because I thought your about section was all about credentials, but now that the way that you put it, that makes way more sense. So I'll be changing that up.
Yep. Let me see. What is my about section? Let's go to this thing and see what's going on. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Um, it looked like mine might need to be revamped, really. Yeah, mine is too me centric. But I don't use my about section the way most people use theirs. I usually use my because my I don't actually have an about. Um, so let me show y'all. And it doesn't say about. So this says my story. Why? Because one of the things about me that attracts a lot of people is the fact that I'm a fractional chief operating officer and I don't have an MBA. Plus, I live this freedom lifestyle. So, this really digs into that freedom lifestyle thing. Is what this does, how I got started, and the places I've been, and different things like that. And then you can kind of see the different photo shoots from different places. So this one is really digging into what my freedom looks like, because what most of y'all use as your about really is kind of on my speaker media page. Um, So this is really where I use like the things that people want to know about me to make a buying decision. Oh, my pictures are taking too long to update. Ooh, we need to do a backup or something because that's not showing up. But so this is talking about me as far as the credentials that people care about, but also like when you go to, I think it's my fractional COO page, which is, I need to update my stuff because I can't even remember how you get to the fractional COO page. I don't know which one of these things it is. Let's go see. Oh, well, there it goes. So this talks about who I am. So I put it in places that make sense for you to know who I am, that help you to buy and to make a decision. I don't have a whole just one about page. Some of that will be updated, but your about page, because you don't have the hook of the freedom and living in different countries that makes people so interested. Your about page need to look more like sentences like that. And also let's go to, like, if my fractional COO services were my core offer, this would be on my about page if I didn't have the freedom thing. And y'all see how that description that I gave that guy that made him immediately buy is now a part of this page. So your about page needs to be about the things they care about you, not the things you care about you, if that makes sense. All right, Heather. Kimberly might still be driving. I don't know what Kimberly over there doing. But this week has been great. We've talked about credibility, and it is the first step to growing your business. At the end of the day, credibility can be built in different ways. We talked about it being built through your transformations and results. We talked about it being built through you being consistent and dependable. We talked about it being built through what is it? Credibility, which is, I'm sorry, reputation for credibility. And then today we're talking about messaging that aligns as credibility. So it's been a great week. Does anybody have any questions about anything we talked about this week about credibility or just in general credibility? Any questions, any value adds, and any aha moments?
So I'm going to use this week, especially over the weekend, to revamp content messaging and the website so that I can incorporate the client-centric language that we've talked about, the client-centric focus. So
Yeah.
thanks for a busy weekend. I was hoping to relax, but damn it.
Hey, do what you got to do, man. But yeah, it's not even too late for you to infuse some of that stuff into the book, Heather. Like maybe the back cover, or you know what I'm saying? Maybe in the forward or whatever part you got going on. Because you definitely want it to resonate with people, right? Because as experts, what we understand is the information we have to give can be game changing for people. We know that. We know we save lives, make lives better, help people make money, all the things, right? We know that we do that. But first, we have to get their attention. And then when we get their attention, we have to show them we're the choice. That's where the credibility comes in. And so we just got work to do with putting our credibility front and center. We got to learn how to brag, but we got to understand what to build to brag about that will actually bring us to change. So I appreciate that, Heather. All right. Anybody else with a question, a value add, or an aha moment? Cool beans. Well, let's go into these announcements, y'all. What's happening this week in our free business mastermind group? And that is tomorrow is a get shit done work session for the paid membership. However, our free business mastermind group is invited to join us in the second half of it. All the details are in the group if you want to join us tomorrow. I have a new announcement that I have not said this week. I looked at my schedule for my travel next week. I will be leaving Vietnam and going to Thailand. So next week, Monday and Tuesday, there will be no morning show. So next week is a great time for us to do something we said we were going to do once a quarter. And that is on Wednesday and Thursday, the 2 days we have left in the week, we're going to do live coaching. Remember, we called it the one thing. So Wednesday and Thursday, those in studio live will have the opportunity to share one problem you are currently having in your business that is getting in the way of your offer generating six figures. Okay. So this is your time to allow me to be your own personal fractional COO and help you with something that's going on in your business that you want to talk about, and not just things around the blog topic. Okay. So that's what we'll do Wednesday and Thursday of next week. All right. Now, don't forget, I showed you again that we have the revenue reset summer boot camp, jumpstart your path to cash intensive. Now, you definitely want to make sure that you join this intensive, because if your revenue is stalled, if your revenue is non-existent, if you are feeling like your business is an expensive hobby because it doesn't even generate enough cash to pay its own bills, this is the intensive you need to come to, because we're solving those problems. Okay. It'll be 4 hours on a Saturday, July the 19th. And you don't want to wait to the last minute to join us, because this week the bonuses are disappearing. Okay. The super bonus is already gone. We have some regular bonuses. They disappear tomorrow. So you want to get in on it now. Next week, all of the coupon codes will disappear. So even if you, qualify for any kind of coupon code, it will disappear tomorrow. So go to shaycannon.com/summer and get in on the revenue reset summer bootcamp. Right? Cool beans. This has been the Her First Six Figures Morning Show, which is an interactive coaching and training experience as part of our free business mastermind group that positions Black and Brown female online service-based entrepreneurs to generate your first six figures by learning how to make the money and create time freedom. Find out more about me, your host, Shay Cannon, plus links to resources like that highly valuable free business mastermind group, and get the show notes from today and past shows, well, recent past shows. Go to the description below and get all of that stuff. All right. If you have not already, we've given you value all week long, and especially in this episode. So give us a thumbs up and like the episode. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel so that you don't miss a thing. And also, this was just one video out of a series of 4. So check out the other videos. And with that, I want you guys to have a great day, have a great weekend, and we'll see you here on Wednesday and Thursday of next week only, where we're doing live coaching. All right. Have a great one. The studio is closing in 5.